Hi, welcome back to ODE YouTube channel. Today I'm going to make another review of another version of a Parker 51, so I think I will keep this video a little bit short, at least that is my goal. Okay, so today we are going to see a Parker 51 Special, which was a variant of the variation of the regular Parker 51. So I have here this beautiful, at least I think so, this beautiful box made of wood. As far as I know, it was made in Brazil. It is engraved with the Parker 51. And I have here a couple of Parker 51s. And the one that I'm going to talk about is the Parker 51 Special. And it is this one. And let's see. Let me just put this a little bit away, and I think I will come back to this box in a moment. So, here we have the Parker 51 Special. It is a pen very similar to the regular Parker 51, as you may see. Here I have the one that belonged to my grandfather, and this is the version in navy gray. It's the color of these, it's the name of this color, which is a bluish gray. So it has the same overall shape, the same overall features of the regular Parker 51, so I will not spend a lot of time with this. The same characteristics overall on the cap. And so, let's see why there was a Parker 51 Special. The Parker 51 Special was something that came in between, in terms of price, between the Parker 51, the regular one, and the Parker 21. And why? Because this pen had not a steel nib but an octanium nib instead of a gold nib, much like the Parker 21. This nib is or was quite good. The pen has some little differences, and that's now what I will show you for you to be able to identify one of these pens if you find it. So, this pen, usually, let me grab another Parker 51. Another gray one. If you look at the bottom, there is usually a little hole there. On this Parker 51 there is no hole. Why? Because on the Special the hole is on the side. More differences. I know there are some light scratches. Because of light, which is quite harsh, it looks much worse than it is. This pen has a brushed steel cap or lustre alloy cap, but this one has a shiny one, has a polished one. Now it has some scratches because of its age. Also, another different feature is on the top of the cap. The cap on the regular Parker 51, it has the pearl jewel, and the 51 Special, it has the black jewel. Now, inside, as I told you, this pen has an octanium nib, so it is a smaller nib, but it's not the gold nib, but it is the same size of nib, the same kind of everything. I only found two Parker 51 Specials in my life, and both have very fine nibs. And then the filling system is like this, instead of being, this is quite hard here in place, is this way instead of the regular Parker 51 way. And if you look at it, this kind of metal part of the filling system is more similar to the Parker 21 than to the regular Parker 51. Let me take these parts away again. And let me just show you what is written here. It's written Parker 51 special to fill press ribbed bar 4 times, wipe front end, pen point down with soft tissue. Use Parker ink. So this is it. This is what makes the Parker special, 51 special, little different from the others. The pen was released, this version was released in 1950, and it was available in some colors, 5 colors, 4 regular colors and one that was not that common, which was forest green, but the regular ones were the black, the burgundy, the navy gray and the teal blue. And let me show you something else. This pen has quite a nice color, because sometimes on Parker 51s the gray color gets lots of discoloration, and you can see the part that was protected by the cap and the part that was not. This one is highly discolored and this one is quite in a nice shape. And finally, sometimes you may find these pens with regular caps inside instead of those. I have here another Parker Special, this one is black, and when I got it, it came with this kind of cap, which is a regular one, but I read somewhere that only the first models had shiny cap and the black jewel, then they had a regular cap. I'm not 100% sure of this information. But because this one had the regular cap, I got an interesting black plastic cap made by Ariel Kulok in Argentina, and he has, you can check him on eBay, and he has lots of interesting costume made parts for many pens, mainly Parker. So I got this, a nice variation, an all black Parker 51, not original like that. Okay, so these are the parts of the pen overall. Now let's see how the pen compares in size with other pens. The Parker Centennial do fold. Okay, first with the Parker 51, it is the same pen, no differences. With the Lamy LX Ruthenium, it is a little shorter and slimmer, and also slimmer than the Parker 51. When you, the Parker do fold, when you uncap it, it becomes very small, the nib. It's not that small as a pen, but the nib is very small because it is hidden inside. And additionally, another thing that is quite nice on the Parker 51, if you like this kind of hooded nib design, is that you can hold the pen wherever you want and you can post it. It posts securely and it allows for you to hold the pen higher or lower as you wish. So it's quite an interesting, and it allows for lots of personal variation. Now let's see how the pen performs on paper. And here we have our pen and paper, and let's see. So this is the Parker 51 Special. I can post this pen quite deeply, but I have to say that I prefer to use the pen and post it. So this is Parker 51 Special with, I would call it a fine nib. The ink it has inside is the Parker Quink black, and the paper that I'm using is the usual Rhodia dot pad. And about the writing experience, as usual, this is a pen that has no line variation in terms of flexibility, but it allows some line variation on the strokes, because it has not exactly the same kind of line width in every direction, and you can see that when we make these figures of 8, the upstroke is quite dry and thin, and then the downstroke is heavier. So you will have some natural line variation that is not caused by the flexibility of the nib, but by the way the nib is cut. So, and it also depends really on the way, oops, I was out of screen. It also depends on the way you put the nib on the paper. You have to watch it closely because the nib is so small that it will be easy for you to have the pen a little bit rotated, and then the writing experience is not so good. You can see it is almost skipping on the upstrokes, but then if you write it more carefully, it writes well. So, although very lightly when you go up. So this is the kind of writing experience, quite similar to other Parker 51s, but I would say that this nib is quite thin. About line variation, there is none. About the wetness of this pen, there is not a lot also, but I think this is common with the Parker 51. It's kind of a dry pen, a simple pen. I would say this is the kind of fountain pen that approaches the most to a ballpoint writing experience. And I know people will get angry with me, but that's what I feel. There is nothing very special about the character of this pen. And about the reverse writing, it is a little bit harsher on the paper, but you can get like an extra fine line with no problem. So this is an interesting pen, and I thought I should show you this. As I told you, the color on this pen is the navy gray. Let me just add some more light and show it to you. It is an interesting writing instrument, and this is all I had to show you. So thank you for watching, and I'll be back soon for another video. Bye.